everyone, and welcome to another episode of Ask Jim. I think we're up to episode number 63 or 64, so make sure you leave a question for Jim, the founder of this and of the Jim's Group, if you're your first time watching. We did a podcast today, Jim, which went for around 45 minutes, which is the, let's say, bi-monthly update with everything that's going on with coronavirus. And no news almost is good news in a way, I guess, but
it's getting better.
Yeah.
It's getting better. It's starting to ease.
So let us know if you're a franchisee or franchisor and jump on the comments. We've got Belinda Hadley jumping in, so saying hi. Thanks, Belinda, for being the first commenter from Northern Queensland, up in a lot nicer part of the world than what it is now. And what's been happening during the week?
Nothing wrong with Melbourne climate. Come on.
I know you love it. I like the Queensland climate is nice, and Belinda's up there in nice hot weather.
Yeah, it gets cold and 9 degrees and raining. Maybe we should do a little bit more sunshine, but generally speaking, Melbourne weather is the best.
That's true. And also we were talking about today, we did a big personal training filming day on Monday, so people have seen the photos with the 360 gym, which was great. Jim's Personal Training, our first franchisee in Elon in Melbourne. So hopefully if you are needing a session, get on board there. And also last week, I need to be corrected. I kept saying Mother's Day was last Sunday. Mother's Day is coming up this week. So we've got some actual video content with Haydar, who was in our commercial. We made a commercial for Jim's Cleaning with Haydar, which was his idea. Yep. Haydar's in it, done a good job with his staff, and there was kids spilling over the pancakes, all that sort of stuff. So if you need a gift voucher for Mum...
what better gift voucher than having something done? Give Mum a break. I love it. Yeah.
So give mum a break. So go to gyms.net, get a gift voucher there. They're really good to use, and they can use on all of our services as well, and really easily. Now let's get straight into it, guys. So make sure you leave a question in there as well. There's a few comments coming in, which is great. Now I just wanted to touch on something real quickly before. Jim's a massive fan of Elon Musk. I know you listened to the audio book, and I was just showing.
Yeah, the Ashley Vance biography, fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, and then for anyone who follows Twitter or Elon Musk, you would know he named his kid an absolutely strange. It's unpronounceable.
Incomprehensible name, and everybody wondering if it's a code for something.
Yeah, so drop in the comments what you think it is. What do you think it'd be a code for, Jim? New model of Tesla,
I don't know.
What is it a code for?
This is the guy who put his Tesla into space, where it's circling the sun. So I think he's just great at publicity.
And he also said his shares were overpriced last week, and they ended up.
My goodness, he does some strange things, that guy.
So put in the comments there, guys.
But I do admire him. I really do.
You do, don't you? You have quite a big admiration for him.
I reckon he's just incredible at getting brilliant engineers to work together and do things. SpaceX is the greatest thing of all. It's fantastic.
Have you watched the videos of him taking a tour on his plant at all?
No.
You should watch that. It's quite interesting. So let's keep going on here, guys. So thanks for leaving comments or questions. Michael Watson, first one. When are you going to bring in Jim's political lobbying? So there's a Facebook group or page which has got a lot of followers, Jim, called Jim's. I think it's Jim's Political Lobbying. So there's a Facebook page.
Is there really?
That. There is, yes.
Political
And
lobbying.
I think they sit a bit more to the left than what you would traditionally. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the case of who you're going to lobby for. We'd like some lobbying on our behalf if anybody can do it. We'd like to get... there's great people overseas. We'd like to be able to get into the country to buy franchises. That'd be something. I've tried my own version of lobbying, going through my local MP. Didn't get anywhere.
Well, the answer is, Michael, that he does do his own political lobby in his own way. If you do watch every week...
But I'm not very good at it.
That's it. Believe it.
We actually used to do those fundraisers at this place, and I sat next to everybody. I sat next to Malcolm Turnbull and Tony Abbott and all the bigwigs and so forth. So I've met them all.
Do you have a chat to them all?
I talk to them, but I don't lobby at all. I don't know. I just sit there. Maybe I lost my opportunity. I just didn't know what to say.
What did you chat to them about?
Oh, just anything. Just ask them what they were doing and stuff, and just things.
Were they amazed to find out who you were, or?
No, I don't think I'm that famous.
Fair enough.
But I have met them all.
Yeah.
Because we used to run fundraisers for the Liberal Party.
There we go. But if people do watch Jim, they would know Jim doesn't sit either.
I don't think comfortably on one side or the other. At one stage, I'm a very greeny, egalitarian type of person, and the other stage, I'm very anti-green. So
there we go. So make sure you leave a question or a comment, guys. We've got so many people watching, which is awesome. So g'day, Wade, for tuning in. Thanks there, Wade. We did miss you, Wade. Put some more comments in there. Belinda Hadley's saying it's too cold down here. Completely agree with you at the moment.
Oh, no, come on, Belinda. Beautiful day today. I went for a walk just around the block here, which is really nice.
And now Peter Nevis said something here. I don't know if I want to say this, so I might get fired. Because Peter should know better than writing this comment. But there's a day coming up on this Friday, Jim, and someone's asked you if you've got any plans. Yeah,
I'm going to be out of town.
Oh, wait, do you want me to say the day or not say the day? I won't say what it is.
Just leave it alone.
I'll leave it alone. Peter Neves, you should know better. And Peter Neves will get a written warning from Jim tomorrow for mentioning that.
Right, yeah.
There we go.
Breach notice.
Breach notice to Peter Neves in our ops team, DevOps. Wade Aston's gone, Ava got her hat, guys. So you approved last week for Ava to get a hat, which is nice.
Yes.
I think that's Wade's 11-year-old daughter.
Yes.
So she can read the book whilst wearing the Jim's Mowing snapback hat. It's a really good looking hat as well. Now, Eric Jurgens has gone here with a good comment. I'm going to read Eric's out. Always welcome Eric on this. Just wondering if you have seen the TV ad that was on for Jim's cleaning. I saw it on during the Today Show twice this morning. Great ad. I always saw that Jim's Plumbings was doing one. Do you think this is a direction that should be used to complement all the other Jim's advertising, especially as so many people are at home at the moment?
I am not a fan of TV advertising. I'm not arguing about what cleaning's done. That's their decision, but I would never do it. No electronic advertising. My view of advertising is you go where people are looking for your service, use the online stuff, the Facebook, all those kind of things. Spotify, somebody said.
Spotify is like a new version of radio, absolutely. If you want the premium version,
it's great. You only pay 2 cents per.
That's from
per
Chris
ad,
Hansen. Chris Hansen up in New South Wales,
which is amazing. I just know it. So there's lots of great places to advertise. I think the traditional media has just had it.
Yeah, I think the traditional media, TV, look, anything, it's omni-channel, right? In many places as you can be, but it's is that an effective use of all that money? Because it's very expensive, right?
I think the best use of our money is what we do from the branding fund, which is the videos and stuff. We've seen the Mowing website more than doubled since November in terms of hits, and that largely is to do with videos. That's what we should be focusing on, just getting people to go to our websites.
Yeah, TV, Eric's probably more brand awareness as well. Jim's is
but who doesn't know we do it?
Well, that's the point, right? So you're doing it's the brand. It's already more of a brand awareness vehicle if you're trying to change messaging and stuff.
I think if you need brand awareness, it's probably a good idea. But in a situation where people basically know gyms, they don't necessarily know all divisions. So it may be something for small divisions to do. But I just don't think so. Look, since we've got off that kind of stuff and we've just focused on the online, our lead rate has risen enormously.
Yeah, and you got all the franchisors spending online as well. So much of that signal traffic to Google as well. You got Jim's Cleaning running PPC ads. You got Jim's Mowing, Jim's Everything running it. All works
like
together.
this thing here, for example, that we're doing. That's going to be recorded. It's going to be put in the blogs. It goes on Jims.net, and that boosts that site because people go and have a look at it. They stay on the site. Google says, "Wow, that's a good site," and it lifts your rankings up. That's the way to. Not gaming the system these days, but just giving good value on your site. And
the more that franchisors, they put gyms into online, like Google and stuff, it says, oh, this is a really strong brand. And the more times it sees Jim's Mowing or Jim's Cleaning, it recognises it and gives it more organic push. It all works in together with each other. But TV does have a place, don't get me wrong. And franchisees do love it though. That's the point, because they sit there and
they love seeing their money at work. They don't see it when it's online because it's not obvious. But they're sitting there watching. Oh wow, there's my money.
And that's exactly right. So that's where it comes from as well.
But we did TV from the branding fund a couple of years back, and it didn't even nudge the dial.
That was the Foxtel one, right? That was the Needed Done Jim's the one, and you had everyone doing the finger.
Yeah. Didn't nudge it. You couldn't see the difference.
I was in that ad. When I was alive.
That's probably why.
You say, "Oh, it's responsible for the ad not doing well." That's probably right. It was actually a lot better.
I know, but people are telling me I'm too mean to you.
You called me a pleb last week. I actually wrote that down, so I have notes on here where I write down things before I'm going to start. I have pleb was the first one.
Can I make fun of Ben now? Is that all right?
You can make fun of Ben
sitting behind the screens over there.
You might have to tell him to cut his
No, he's
hair.
a pretty good guy though.
Yes.
You know. Joel couldn't get the computer working,
that's
so Ben
not true.
just came down and tapped like that, and he got it working. The magic finger.
We have a cable here. It's hooked in the phone, and it wasn't working. I swear, no internet. And I was panicking. It was 2 minutes to go. There's no internet, and it wasn't working. Then Ben comes over and touches it, and all what happens, it works. So, yeah, it was quite funny.
So we can't make fun of Ben, or he might jinx the system for us.
That's true. He might shut it down again. All right, let's keep going. Thanks everyone who's watching. Leave a comment or question. We've got a heap of comments in there, which is great. Keep them up. Share the feed, like it. That helps us out. Wade Aston's gone, and I also mowed my lawns this afternoon wearing. Oh, that's good to hear. You wore the Jim's Mowing snapback, mowing your lawns, which is the top hat up there. It looks really good.
Absolutely, yes.
Now, Jason Pollock, evening all. Sorry I missed last week. Had a franchisor meeting. Jim,
we missed you, Jason.
Yeah, Jason's always every week. Thanks for watching, Jason, and your contributions. Jim, what are your thoughts on self-managed super funds as opposed to normal funds? Have you had any experience with a self-managed super fund?
Yeah, we've got a self-managed super fund.
Okay, I never knew that. That's something you learn every day.
We just bought a property, a unit in the city, and we do it that way. Yeah, absolutely. I don't trust anybody else to look after my money.
There you go. So SMSF, I think that's what they're called. There's a higher, obviously, accounting fees and stuff associated with an SMSF, but you can do with it what you need.
Yeah, you do it. It's a good tax deduction, and you just put it into something like property. I mean, right now, property's gone down through the floor, but probably a good time to buy. If you can do a low ball off on someone's property. Well,
Did you lowball someone? Did you buy something recently? Did you? Or?
Oh, it was a few years back.
A few years back, yeah.
But property's a good investment. Property usually returns, good return on, 5-6% plus CPI. I mean,
it's a speculative investment, though. Property. I reckon ETFs are the way to go. ETFs.
Yeah.
ETFs long-term outperform property. Plus, you get a dividend every 6 months into your bank.
No worries. But yeah, I definitely do it yourself. Yeah, basically, you mean the ones that track the funds that track the market.
Correct. So the best book you'll read is Peter Thornhill called Motivated Money.
Yes.
It's an absolutely brilliant.
I agree with that one. It's a good investment.
Yeah, it's great.
And I would do it yourself. These funds they rake off incredible amounts of money. I mean, they take billions and billions of dollars in surplus, and you can do an ETF, you can buy some property, whatever.
It's a frustrating thing for younger people because you're better off because you can't touch that money till I think I'm still 67.
Yes.
If you had that in an ETF right now, with doing you could get so much better value out of it, but you have to bloody, do it the way it is. Mm-hmm. So if you're in a position to do that, Jason, it must mean you're doing pretty well as well, which is great. Thanks for tuning in. And I'm not going to read out your comment, Wade, for Friday. We'll keep going. Jim's Pool Care Mobile Pool Shop. I don't know how people found out. Jim's Pool Care Mobile Pool Shops. Hello, Jim and Joel. Great social distancing. Yes, we're still practicing the social distancing in place, which still apply. All franchisees are still applying that. So
I don't find it difficult at all. I really like it actually. I reckon the social distance is a good thing, and goodbye to handshakes forever in my view.
You want to introduce the bow, don't you?
Yes.
And the higher you are in the ranks, the lower you bow.
Just a polite bow. You don't have to kowtow, but I think that just suits me. I do not like handshakes and I do not like hugs. I do.
The air five.
I won't do hugs to anybody except my family. Handshakes I kind of obliged to do it, but if I never shook another hand in my life, it really wouldn't upset me too.
What about an air five? I remember you saying air high fives last week.
Yeah, I know they do the elbow bump, but that seems so crass.
The elbow bump like that.
The elbow bump. I've seen Polly's doing elbow.
What about the foot touch? People are touching feet.
You could kick somebody, I guess.
There we go. Wade Aston goes.
Hey, go on, you mate.
We'll keep going. I can't read that comment out there, Wade. It needs to keep it G-rated. I can't read that one out regarding the pool care guys. Jim's, you can see what I mean. Jim's Pool Care Mobile Shops. Let's all our customers know that we're still servicing pools, cleaning pools, selling pumps, and robots, and are happy to help any pool owner in Australia. Absolutely, Jim's Pool Care.
Well, the interesting thing is our number of leads for April just passed is almost exactly identical to April last year. So some divisions went down, but others did even better than normal.
Correct. Then Wade Aston's gone, can I do some political lobbying for you, Jim? Someone wants to go already and join your party and be an advocate on your behalf. Absolutely.
Well, if anybody's got some connections at a high level in Canberra or something, we'd love to hear from you.
There we go. Brad Mansfield going, are you live now? Yes, we are. Even though you're 7 minutes, your comments behind, we are live, Brad. So
we are live.
Think you're our first-time commenter watcher. That's great. We are live every Wednesday. Wade Aston, oh, I know. Wade keeps going, I'm happy to break some fingers and twist some arms, or is that meant to be the other way around? Well, we don't encourage that. And we'll keep, he's saying he's the comic relief. G'day, Haydar. So Haydar's tuned in and said hello. Thanks for watching, Haydar. Now, Steve Durant, this is a good one. So Steve's a new fencing franchisee. Just started his training this week. Evening all, day 2 of on-site training with Brent from Newcastle. Going really well. Love it already. Colour bond done already. So much to learn. Everyone has been so supportive, which is great to see.
It's good. That awesome. Training course, the fencing training course, is very, very good. We're trying to work out a way to get the government to pay for it, because we could take 100 people off the dole tomorrow.
For fencing?
Fencing. There's so much work around, and it's a great business. And that 8-week course is fantastic, because we've had people from other divisions doing fencing, and they're a disaster. But the fencing guys, when they've done that 8 weeks, they're really good at what they do. And
that's great to hear about Brent as well. I know Steve's really active in our franchisee. We have a franchisee group, or general gyms group. Please join it. But Steve's always posting pictures out with his training and stuff, which is awesome. He's real excited. So keep doing your things, Steve. We appreciate your social posting as well. Then here we go. Oh, Jason Pollock, another Friday special. I won't read it out for Jim. I don't know where they found this out, but I'll keep going. I won't say it. I'll keep going. Then Wade Aston's gone social distancing, Jim. You can't leave the state, mate. Now, Eric Jurgens. All right, here we go.
But I hate travel anyway. I really dislike travel. I detest aeroplanes.
I was going to say, Wade, you must have
no desire to go overseas ever in my whole life if I can possibly avoid it. So as far as I'm concerned, the whole thing is fine. if some of my franchisees weren't so screwed up by losing work, which would upset me, this would be a good experience for us. Well, our income's down a bit, but we're surviving all right.
There we go.
But there are benefits, like not to shake people's hands.
That's the one thing I know. That's in 10 years' time or 5 years' time when you recall the time, I reckon you're going to keep saying that, I reckon. Didn't have to shake hands, do a bow. What about the training? Obviously, people come up and do the photos and stuff. Because we might start doing the training again, or...
I'm sure. I don't know how you do a selfie with personal distance.
I think we've got to have the social distancing stick in the middle. So long as it's in the guidelines, that's fine.
Yeah, that's right. You could have a sort of a rod between you and
make sure the person stands back enough in the photo.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty funny. It'd look all right.
It could work. Actually, I miss training. I think training is really good. We are doing it online, and it works all right. But there's nothing like that presence, having people together in the room. It's just that sense of excitement, that sense of, just family, that sense of connection.
Well, I think we find out May 11. I think I've been talking to trainers today about it. They might talk about if we're allowed to do it or not, because if we can, I guess we would. Because the next one's May 18th.
Well, we could do it so you just have people sitting apart, so you have a seat in between.
We did before, which was
we had around 20... The last live training we had that, and it worked all right.
Correct. I think around 20-25 people were able to fit in here.
Yeah.
So maybe Victorian based, they could come here, and if they're interstate, they could watch online, which would be the way to go.
I don't know. I think they'll be going to discos in Queensland before we get even relaxation in Victoria.
Eric Jurgens, hey guys, on a later note, I know that Jim has been asked on many occasions what his favourite division is. But I would like to ask, who is his favourite franchisee? No pressure, Jim, but I would like an answer. Remember all the hot chocolates I've made for you, no charge, I might add.
All my franchisees are my favourite franchisees. I will not play favourites. Sorry, Eric.
Even no bribery either. He's just saying,
no. Even a
special,
really nice cup of hot chocolate. You can't tempt me to make exceptions.
Got to rename it, Eric. Jim's chocolate or something like that. Jim's hot choc. Yeah. That's what you should rename it.
Chocolate is good. You know what? My family did a really rotten thing.
What's that?
They went out and bought a jar of Nutella.
Not right.
And that is bad. That is bad.
Was it a big one or was it a small one?
It's about that size. We only bought it about 3 days ago and it's mostly gone. And I have to say it's mostly me that did it too.
Really?
Oh yeah, I love that stuff.
So what are you? Do you like to use the spoon or do you do...
Yeah, I know. I go for the spoon. Big.
It's nearly gone.
Nearly gone.
Wow. There we go.
That is my version of crack cocaine. I tell you, I have sympathy for any addict. I know what it's like.
There we go. Jim's the Nutella addict. When did you go to rehab, Jim?
Yeah.
Then you go to rehab.
Go cold turkey and sit in the corner. Give me Nutella, give me Nutella.
Here we go. We'll go.
Hot, cold sweats and all the rest of it is going into withdrawal symptoms.
Nutella rehab, Jim. We'll have to send you there.
That's right.
Dave McDonald.
We should have Nutella recoveries anonymous, and we should get together and share the 12 steps and stuff.
Nutella
like that.
Addicts Anonymous.
Yes.
There we go. The NAA.
Yes.
We'll keep going. Dave McDonald's tuned in, so thanks to David. Matt Barr. Now, Matt Barr went out book last week.
But
now,
David, that's David from the Antennas.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of my favourites. One of my favourites.
Here we go. Not Eric.
No, I'm not going to play favourites. But I tell you what, anybody who comes and fixes my TV is a good guy.
So there we go. David, you're one of my favourites, Eric. Matt Barr. Hey, Jim and Joel. I hope you've both had a good week. I know Jim has mentioned that he always enjoys reading books about other business leaders and CEOs.
Yes, I do.
Jim, who are the two? Who are one or two business leaders that you can see yourself most in? Also, thank you very much for seeing the book last week. Much appreciated.
No, you're welcome. Actually, the one I admire most is Bill Gates.
Bill Gates.
Not because of how he made his money, but even more how he's spending it. To me, that's the greatest model there is. This is a guy who's become one of the wealthiest people on the planet and is going out, taking his money and focusing systematically on how to do the maximum benefit. I revere that guy. I really do.
He's got an amazing TED Talk. He not saying predicted the pandemic, but in 2015 saying how well ill-equipped everyone was. I think it's quite interesting.
I've seen some of the stuff that he's done, some of the projects that he's funding is just magnificent. I really, really admire him. And I do admire people like Elon Musk too. I love the technology, I love the dream, I love the going to Mars thing. I think that's fantastic.
Are they the ones? But who's one you can see yourself in? Do you see anyone you're a bit similar to, or that you think you're similar to? Or
I wish. I don't think personally I could go to Musk's bootstraps. Honestly, I mean he's a different level.
Let's say with Gates, so you created something very innovative in your product with your franchising product, and you do something with
these
research.
These guys are a lot smarter and better than I am. I mean it's not just luck. They're just phenomenally capable people in a way that I'm most certainly not. I'm often astonished I've even achieved anything at all. I really am. I've done so many stupid things. Yeah. Oh no, honestly. I mean, you look at my book and there's
this one here, correct, which you can download.
It talks about all my dumb mistakes, and there's more that have come recently. I still make dumb mistakes. I don't know how it works at all. I really don't.
But the one thing, Pete, you've always got, which is resilience. You keep bounce back and keep going, don't you?
Oh yeah, I don't get discouraged. I just keep on doing something, and Lee gets so upset about you. So you did this and this would be funny. You hadn't done that, and I say, yeah, okay, but what can we learn for the future? And I just keep on going.
That's it.
Get up and move.
So thanks for that question, Matt. It's really good questions tonight and last week as well. Dave McDonald, TV advertising works really well in the antennas division, just costs too much. That's what David's saying.
Well, it's always leads per dollar spent is the point.
Yeah, cost per acquisition.
It is high. You've got to have a lot of leads for antennas, and that's one of the things to keep those guys. They make good money, but they've got to keep busy.
There we go. So around 30 minutes behind in the comments. I'm going to whip through some now to catch up, guys. Sorry that was us before. Matthew Dwyer, is there any chance we can still have the trade day go ahead if restrictions are eased?
No.
Also, hello to Eric Jurgens, who beeped and waved at me as he went past in Watsonia today.
That's
nice good to hear.
I like that. I like that.
That's good.
Always greet your fellow franchisees. That's a fantastic thing. But no, the trade day is not going to happen this year. It cannot possibly happen. It's just crowded. I mean, you see, it's amazing. You see 400 people, 500 franchisees in a single room. And with this sea of green, it's really quite astounding. The first time you get an impression of how Jim's actually big as it is, but there's no way they can do that.
That's it. And Wade Aston's gone, how's my first time 5-star rating going for my comedy relief? And the comments going today, Muscles, going 1-star, Wade, based on some of the things I'm reading here. Now, Ollie Olmez has got, Ali is the CEO of the Jim's Cleaning Group. Due to the COVID current circumstances, we got an awesome deal for TV advertising, much cheaper than the usual rates, which is what we've been hearing a lot of.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
If you've got a really, really good deal, if you can buy it at bargain basement, then it's worth doing.
But it all works in a pie, right? You have a bid here. If it's cheap and they're doing it, and that's what they're doing, you have your online, you have all that, all complements each other because everyone's in different spaces there. Now let's keep going in here then. Wade's going with some great comments. Keep them on, Wade. and then
is he angling for a book or something?
Well, we've given Wade a book and a hat, which is good. We'll have to give him something else. John Markham, evening gentlemen. Just wondering if Jim would be open to sharing the databases from other divisions for our local area email marketing.
No, you can't. The only marketing we do for Jim's divisions as a whole is in the customer newsletter with very, very rigorous processes for knocking it back. If we start letting every division do masses, our clients would rise in revolt.
No, this is a franchisee, so within franchisee network. So the Jim's networking thing on Jim's Online. So I'll read again. So he's gone, just wondering if Jim would be open to sharing the databases from other divisions for our local area email marketing. No, you're right.
No, because customers get very, very upset, and we will start losing customers en masse if we do that kind of stuff. It's very carefully. We do send out weekly newsletters now. Every division can be part of them, and you can put your own. It's even segregated by state if you wish. But as soon as a person tells us they don't want it, and it's very easy to unsubscribe, it's right up at the top.
Yep.
Then as soon as we do, we take them off and we do not touch them again. And you've got to be so careful of that kind of stuff.
So it used to be monthly. However, we went to weekly, and the unsubscribe rate actually went less or stayed the same. So I'd get more touch points for more chances for divisions because we've got so many, right?
And it's a good marketing campaign if you see the newsletters, because they're all advice.
Correct.
It's not pushing gyms. It's really useful things that you can do. About pest control, about dogs, about anything. I check that to make sure that's what they put in. No pushing gyms. Always good advice. So the newsletter works well. Let's be so careful of that kind of thing.
And Wade's gone with a question. I'll read this one out, Wade, because it's an interesting one. Quick question: Does Jim or Muscles or me play any musical instruments? Did you play any musical instruments? No. Can't sing.
No, I can't sing. If you heard me sing, you would know that I can't sing.
So you never played nothing as a kid growing up?
We got to play piano and stuff. My daughters are all really good on the piano. They'll play for fun. They'll play magnificent stuff. But that's more my wife. She's more musical than me. I'm into science and history and stuff, but not into music.
Yeah, I play guitar, Wade. I used to play a lot. Hi Jim, this is from Sukinda Sindhu. Hi Jim, how can we transfer Jim's mowing franchise to another state?
Just talk to the franchisor.
Local franchisor, and I can arrange it.
Yeah, well, if you email me, Jim@jims.net, and tell me where you want to go, I'll introduce you directly to the franchisor.
That's it.
And look, believe me, unless you're a lousy payer or something like that, they're going to be really, really happy to have you.
Yeah, it's really never a problem, isn't it? Unless there's, as you said, unless there's some issues or something.
As long as the franchisee is a good franchisee, in other words, decent customer service rating, which is like 95%, paying the fees on time, anybody would want you. No matter where you go in Australia or even New Zealand, always someone's going to say, "Wow, come with me."
Yeah, we have people relocate all the time from Queensland to Victoria or wherever it is, and
which is good.
Yeah,
it's a completely mobile business, which is really unlike anything else.
Don't know why you want to leave anywhere but Victoria, though. John from Mesa, hi Jim and Joel. Good to see the branding for the number one division in the background. So John, I was presuming to the Jim's Mowing branding. Yes, we've got the big Jimbo there and got all the books there as well. And thanks for watching, John. John's been watching every week, which is great. And then Dave McDonald's gone, Jim, if you can buy any car with no cost in the equation, what would you buy and why?
What, with no cost?
Yeah. So if you buy any car with no cost in the equation, what would you buy and why?
Well, I'd buy the most expensive car that cost me nothing, and then I'd flog it and get something useful.
Oh, there we go. Always the thrifty entrepreneur.
Seriously, I would feel, if somebody gave me a Mercedes or something like that, or a real top-level car, I would feel ashamed to drive it because it's too. I just don't like the display thing. I really don't. I like driving an ordinary old car, the sort of car any one of my franchisees could afford to.
But Ben's yelling in the back, Tesla. We've got a Tesla.
Someday I'd like to have an electric car. I'd love to get on my farm. I'd like to have enough solar panels so I could go up there at the weekend. Electric car would be of interest.
And then Wade's gone, you're probably a Volvo, which is probably referring to your white Volvo back in the day.
Yes.
Yeah, the old white Volvo.
Yeah, I was just driving a luxury European car without mentioning it was 30 years old.
There we go.
I have a real aversion to display. People think, I've got this thing.
You haven't got Rolexes on under there or anything like that? Or?
No, but this coat has come unravelled at the sleeves and stuff. I don't look like a multi-millionaire, do I?
No, definitely not. Wade Aston, my fiance.
That's what I prefer. I do not want to look like I got money.
There we go. Wade Aston's got, my fiance wants the social distancing to remain as well, like the lockdowns. She's kind of like Jim. Unlucky there, Wade.
Well, as long as that between you two is not social distancing, that's the main thing. I don't social distance my wife. Actually, we are very much the opposite. Mind you, she's a bit of a hypocrite. She complains about me coming so close to her at night that I heat her up. But then if I go to my side, she comes over, it gets me. So we're always glued together.
Pat McDonald, I could give you. He goes, here we go. I can give you an antenna that's 1.5 meters long for reference. I'm your favourite for sure. So I'm around 9 minutes behind, guys. Sorry, guys. There's so many comments coming, which is great. I'm just trying to catch up. Wait, Aston, do you eat Nutella with a spoon, Jim? Which he said he did.
With a spoon.
Then Denise has gone from Jim's Bookkeeping. Was it the big catering pack of Nutella?
No, it's just this one. The normal one you get, the bigger one you get in the supermarket.
Okay. Thanks for watching there, Denise, in the comment there as well. Wade's saying he's eating as well.
Somebody did give me a catering pack. It was a very unfunny Christmas present one time.
Yeah? We'll keep moving on. David Gazilla's tuned in again. So get out there, Dave, from Dave Gallagher there. Sorry, mate. Appreciate it there. And then David's gone, everyone makes mistakes, learn, improve on the stuff, which is referring to your previous comment.
Absolutely right.
Now, Eric,
I learn more than anybody because I make more mistakes than anybody else. There you are. I'm very, very learned.
Yeah, well, what you do different than most is you make a decision. A lot of people can't make a decision.
Yeah, I have to up with that. If anything, I make decisions far too fast.
Eric Jergens gone, I've noticed on a few different divisions that some people have their mobile number on their van trailer.
No, they shouldn't do that.
Then he goes, is this now okay, as I'm wondering?
No, it is not. And if we see it on the pictures, we will tell them to take it off.
You need to take a photo and send it in to us, and then
do that.
We can follow it
up. They're not entitled to, because it breaches territory rights. You're driving through somebody else's territory. You send a picture number, they ring you. Territory owners miss out. You can't do that.
Then Wade Aston's gone, he wants a Monopoly set. So Wade's got everything. I don't know, Wade, that could be a bit expensive for you, that one. Might have to make you earn that one a bit more, I reckon. Wade.
He's trying hard.
He's definitely trying hard. he's clogging.
I'll tell you what, we're actually looking at the gym's divisional playing cards.
Yes.
So that might be a gift we can give away.
Yes.
Monopoly sets a lot. But they're doing pretty well. They're all over the place.
Well, for people who are wondering, we had an email through the week from the world record holder of Monopoly games. There's a bloke called Neil Scall, and I thought it was a joke. And then I looked him up, and it was legit. He's got 2,448 copies of Monopoly. Yeah. So he's got 3 copies of ours coming to him, and he'll do a photo and stuff with him. So he doesn't open them, though.
He doesn't open them, yeah.
No.
I know.
We'll keep going there. And someone said you're a legend.
I don't blame him. It's an awful game, actually. It really is.
He gets a lot of heat online. So the boys were watching, because the Gym's Monopoly got a bit of press during the week on the franchising side, and on Unilat Australia, which I was quite happy with, which has got 2 million followers.
I think it's a vile game, actually.
Monopoly?
Yeah, not good at all. My kids like
greedy
it.
Property owners.
There's too much luck in it. I like a game like Apocalypse, where you sit there with armies and you invade each other and have nuclear warfare. I mean, that's a real fun kind of game.
More up your alley. For anyone who that's more up your alley there.
Or diplomacy. It's all about intrigue and backstabbing and spying and things. That's my kind of game. I mean, really. I mean,
for everybody who watches Arch Gym will definitely know that kind of game. Jim's group. So someone from the YouTube said you're a legend, Jim. As always, we get legend once a week, so thanks for that one as well.
As an impossible imaginary monster or something like that. Legendary.
Well, this is live though, so he's not a legend. It's live. He's in the flesh.
Okay.
David Cardillo, hi Jim and Joel. Thanks for tuning in. David and Eric's gone. Also had a great conversation with one of the car detailing guys in town while they were at a set of lights.
Yes. That's
awesome. Always list my days when I see another gym out on the road and make a point of having a quick toot and wave.
Yeah, I love our guys to talk to each other. Mostly they do. Mostly they wave or honk or do something. It's good to have that sense of family, of connectedness, even though we don't necessarily know people from the other divisions.
That's true.
I had a great thrill when I was in New Zealand Christmas before last, and just seeing a Jim's guy driving down the road and it was in traffic, and I just jumped out and knocked on his window.
Did you really? Yeah. And did you say, I'm that guy in the back? Did he?
Yeah, I introduced myself. Yeah, he was a bit startled. I don't think he minded. That was in Christchurch or somewhere, I think.
Yeah, definitely would have surprised him, wouldn't it? Nice proactive call or franchise meeting on the spot.
He would have been not expecting that.
There we go. We're 5 minutes behind in comments, so we're catching up. Wade Aston, Ava now wants to hear you sing happy birthday to yourself now. No, not happening. We'll keep moving. Matt Barr, you're a ripper, Wade. Matt Barr, Jim and Joel, what are your thoughts? This is a real thoughtful question, actually. What are your thoughts or opinions on free speech? Are you free speech advocates? There seems to be a lot of inadvertent censorship in many sectors of our social spaces, i.e. universities, HR departments of big companies.
Yes, a lot of people,
what are your thoughts around this?
There's a lot of people that wish I would shut up more and don't be so free in my speech. I tend to blurt it all out. And I do think it's appalling, the way people are shut up, the way only certain kinds of opinions are allowed in public and anybody else is going to be shut down. I think it's awful. And when they have speakers who come on, even the quite legitimate, opinions, and they're screamed and yelled at and they're attacked and so forth till they're driven out of the place. You're only allowed to hear a certain narrow section of economy of opinion. I think that's awful. It really is.
It is. We have. That's why we like doing this. It's obviously free. You can say whatever you want, and we've had it in the past. Sometimes back in the day, you might say one thing out of 60 minutes of content which gets picked up on, and which is sometimes the way, but. Oh,
like I say lots of stuff, and people will always pick on something and misinterpret and stuff. I know somebody, there was a client who actually said that she wouldn't use one of our divisions, which was Home Fresh, because I was apparently a racist.
Really?
And she got some sort of comment out of one of my books.
Yeah.
And she made the most appalling misjudgment about what it was about. And I pointed out it's nothing like racism. It's in fact the whole idea of biohistory is that race is far less important. It's an epigenetic difference rather than a genetic one. It's all to do with character and environment and stuff. And racists hate what I do. But, she just misinterpreted something and she said, this guy's a racist.
No, people hear what they want to hear and they love to put a label on people and away they go. They need to be outraged now. And companies as well, I don't think... Companies are too... People want transparency and honesty from companies, but they can't be transparent and honest because if they do, they get smashed online and they get all these attacked on social media. So people need to change their own, I reckon.
Yeah, well, sometimes they should shut up. I guess they might offend people, but on the whole, it doesn't seem to hurt the brand too much.
Nah, I think it's great, the transparency in franchising. That's what we need to do more. Caleb's gone, hello. So thanks for Caleb watching. Always watch every team. Then David McDonald's gone, cost is not to be a consideration in his decision. Cost has not to be a consideration in his decision. So he wants you to take your car and just take it to enjoy for yourself. I know he said electric vehicle, but he wants you to pin you down on a model and make.
But I wouldn't want to drive an expensive car. I just wouldn't want to drive it. To me, it'd be offensive.
Okay. It'd
be like going out with a expensive suit or my wife having a designer handbag or those kind of things. I'm really against that kind of stuff. I hate that kind of attitude that says, you want to display. I'm absolutely opposite. I really would dress down to an considerable degree. I don't really like driving that much anyway, so it's not a very fair... The only thing that appealed to me about a car is I would love to have an electric car that I'd never have to buy petrol for, and that I could charge with renewable energy.
Solar, yeah.
That would appeal from that point of view, not the driving of it. But mind you, electric cars would also be quieter too, which I like. I think that would be an advantage.
There we go. Then we've got a few comments here, which is great. Caleb saying he's just woke up for a nap. That's good. Hopefully he woke up for this. Then we'll keep going. Wade's gone, I remember watching Jim on a Sunday business program with his white Volvo. Yes, that's a famous white Volvo that was in the... I remember a funny story. Yadrin, who's in our insurance department, when he first started, his company car didn't come yet. And he had to drive the white Volvo. And he was saying it conked out every time he was at the lights and you have to get out. So it's quite funny with that one. It's quite infamous, the Volvo. Lachlan Robert, what's more important in running a large company, marketing or management?
What's most important is customers.
Customers.
Honestly, customers and staff. The most important is people. People get so screwed up. You've got to look after your customers. You've got to look after your staff, and you've got, in our case as a franchise, you've got to look after your franchisees first of all. That is the absolute first focus on everything, and you put that at the core of your mission. Other things will get looked after. That's my view.
So customer service is the answer for that one.
Yeah.
There we go.
But also staff. Staff are important too. The people in your business have got to love to be there, and that means at every level: your customers, your franchisees, your staff. And
they'll look after your customers in turn as a servant.
Yeah.
Dave McDonald, does Jim have a Nutella spoon that cannot be used for anything else?
No.
We'll have to get one. Then Veronica Wilding's gone, hi Jim and Joel. Has the current health concerns with the virus jeopardised the work for people who have the dog washing franchises? Thank you.
No, they've been very little affected.
No, I haven't heard much about negative from dog wash at all.
No. It's actually very safe too, because I mean unless you're going to touch somebody to hand the dog over, you don't have any physical contact. You're also cleaning yourself all the time. I mean, I've never heard any of our franchisees have caught it. Not one.
No, not yet at all. I haven't. No,
because we're in relatively safe occupations. We especially the outdoors ones, but even cleaners and so forth. We don't come in regular contact. The people who are danger at risk would be those who in hospitality, medical workers and so forth. People in supermarkets.
Yep.
You're 1,000 times more likely to catch it in a supermarket than you would be, mowing lawns or cleaning houses.
And if you're thinking about Dog Wash, join Veronica. They're a really good division. They've got great divisionals and regionals and support. And they're really good culture, the Dog Wash people. They stay...
Very, very, very warm, very engaged. You can always tell Dog Wash people, even if they weren't wearing these red things, you can tell them because they're always laughing and cracking jokes.
They're a really good team. And they really show up when they come to training and throughout their time. Dave McDonald, I thought you could advertise in territory. I only drive in my territory and would cover it up. I can't. If I come to the Big Smoke, maybe a magnetic phone number.
No, you can't. You just can't do it because you can't guarantee you'll always be in territory. Nobody can guarantee being in territory all the time.
And there we go. And Wade's saying he'll take a T-shirt. We can maybe arrange something. Then Eric Jurgen's gone, hey, Courtney, best personal trainer ever. When are you joining us? Someone on here might be doing the personal training.
Yes.
People going teddy bear for Wade.
They did the personal training here, didn't they?
No, we didn't because of the coronavirus.
Oh, it's just at the wrong time. They were going to come out, but then they didn't
so
do it.
I've spoke to Alan. He's going to come out again and we're going to do a group session. There's a few people in the office who need to lose a few kegs. So
once this crisis is over, we want to use personal training. I want personal trainers to come out at least once a week to keep some of my staff.
Yeah, Alan will love hearing that. Yeah,
and also we're going to get Home Fresh back. But they've done so well during the crisis. They have done better than anybody. So I'd like to get the fruit baskets back. We want to use as many people as possible. We have the car cleaner come in.
Yeah.
We have the tagging done. We lose a lot of Jim's people around this place.
And at your house, you have the mowing, Eric, when he's there.
Yeah, he does the gardening.
David to do the antennas and to fix up Wi-Fi issues when it is. Dog wash for the Apollo.
I'm still looking for somebody to come and help me to get rid of the rats from my hen house.
And pest control and termite, if you are watching as well. That's what we need. Rats in the hen house. But you're going to do the gym when we get the mobile gym out. You're going to jump on it?
Yes.
Have a go?
Yeah. The health club.
No. So when we bring the 360, it's a mobile gym. So Alan's got a 360 mobile gym. So we've got to get you doing some things for the video as well.
I'll do it for the video.
There we go. All right.
I'm looking forward to when we get our sporting complex done.
Yeah.
We've got the planning permit. I mean, it took us 3 years to get through the council. Then we're getting on the building permit now. And we're really hoping to have it done by the end of the year if we can find the money. And then I want to start playing racquetball and get some really good exercise. There you
go. We have Jim's gym. It's going to be good there. Yes. David Gazilla's gone. Lots of people judge these days. Absolutely. The Leif's tuned in saying hi, Jim, which is great. Leif, I think you're a first-time commenter. Now Martin's gone with a question here. Let's put this one here, Martin. Thanks for leaving this. Hi, Jim and Joel. Is there a possibility to add a field to the online inquiries that asks the client their preferred method of contact and time? My experience is that one of the reasons it's online is because they don't want either a phone call or text. Thanks, Martin, Jim's Pest Control.
Sometimes they specifically ask for an email. The trouble with that is they don't answer their emails anyway because they get lost. And it's amazing how people put the wrong email address down too. If there's a wrong phone number or email address, almost always it's somebody who did it online. So it's difficult. The trouble with anything is the more questions you put down, the more people drop out and the less they're actually going to fill it up.
Correct, yep.
But,
so what about that thought about online leads? Because I know it's a general sentiment sometimes that online leads don't convert as well, but sometimes you get information which is
They don't convert quite as well, but the difference is nothing like as big as people think. It's something like 65 to 55%. It's that range of... It's there. But the other thing too is, I remember talking to a franchisee who they were terrible. And I said, try calling back blindingly fast. And he did that for a couple of days and he said, they're fine. Because the thing about people treat them as if they're phone calls and, hey, I'll wait for an hour and a half and ring them back then. And they say they're useless because they got somebody else. Well, that's what they did because it's easy to go multiple online. But if they book you and you ring back within 2 minutes, your chance of getting them is very, very good. It's all a matter of speed.
And also if you're a franchisee, it might be a bit hard to remember, I've got to call this guy back 2 hours later or this day, putting it into a CRM into your sort of thing might be a bit hard as well. Maybe something down the track. David Gazella says, you like an old car? Absolutely. Then David's gone, but that's a cost consideration. You can't have the fact that it's a cost consideration with your choice of car. Dave McDonald's gone, so solar panels with a battery and can fully charge at night. Yeah, we'd need a battery, wouldn't it? You would need a battery for it to charge an electric car at night if you had one.
Yeah.
So
that's what you do. I mean, I'm aiming to have my farm completely off the grid sometime in the next, when I can afford it, I guess.
There we go. Teresa Renata, hi Jim. Is Jim's pool cleaning in New Zealand yet?
No.
Not yet.
But if you're interested in pool cleaning, we're looking for a franchisor over there too.
I think around 10 of our divisions are there now.
It's a great division, pool care. It's done very, very well. It's got well over 100. It's one of the leading ones. Brett Blair, great leader. We'd love to have somebody in New Zealand to drive it off there. I know Auckland's got a lot of pools. Absolutely.
Neil Simpson's gone, Jim, it would be great if you came to NZ and did a meet and greet with franchisees over here. when travel restrictions were permitted and when it's safe, I guess.
I think it's a great excuse not to have to travel anywhere.
We could do Ask Jim in New Zealand, Jim.
I'm just trying to keep the country healthy by staying where I am and not going anywhere.
What he could do, look, Neil, what we
say. I
say.
don't think anybody in the world misses air travel less than I do.
What we could do, Neil, is we could have Jim Zoom in or Skype in for meetings or anything you guys have. We can always offer that as a thing.
Yeah, I love to Zoom in. If you've got a meeting, just Zoom is very good actually. If you've got a meeting, just invite me in. I'm happy to come in. I can do it from my office. I can answer questions. What I find though, seriously, is that when I do visit, I actually get to contact very few people.
Mm.
You know, I did a meeting in Sydney one time. I think about 20 people turned up. You just don't get the numbers. I'm actually in more contact with franchisees on a typical day than I would be if I travelled interstate.
I also think via this as well. We actually probably get more contact via this. But
well, now we've probably got, I don't know how many franchisees are out there watching right now, but there'd be quite a few.
Mm.
And you know, one of the things, because I don't travel much, I'm very accessible. If you send me an email, jim@jims.net, I'll answer you, usually very quickly. Normally within a very few hours, sometimes within a few minutes.
Mm.
And that's one reason, is because I don't travel a lot.
Mm. But I think if you're ever over here, please come to the office, as we say to everyone, if they're over in Melbourne.
Yeah, we'd love to see you. If you come to the office, just drop in and say hello. If it's during training week, we'd love to shout you for a meal.
There you go, free meal, that's good.
Yeah. Well, we love to see people when they come, and that's a good time. And I enjoy that, actually. I enjoy that relationship. I just don't find that travelling gets me in touch with a lot of people in the way that I can be in touch. I'm actually make a point of being very easy to contact, because it's very useful for us to know.
So if you want to hook up the meeting, let us know, and we can definitely do that for you as well. And then David's gone, I saw a big Chevy block they converted into an electric vehicle. That's cool. Then Janine, I think it's Janine's Hey Guys Dog Wash McKay team. So I think, Janine, I don't know if you're a franchisee yet with Belinda or you're planning to be, which is great for you tuning in. Her, I think her 2 kids coloured in the dog wash. We have Jim's colouring sheets for some divisions, which is cool.
Well, that's a good start.
They're a lot better. They've done a great job. I don't reckon half of our staff could have stayed in the lines as well as they did. David McDonald, I wouldn't put my number on my van anyway. I need less work, not more work. If that's the case, it's a bit strange with David saying that, because David's flat out, as we know.
Yes.
Then Paul Ryan, Jim, have you thought about a concrete base in your hen's house to stop the rats?
I think it's got concrete base, but they come in under the they come in everywhere, and they come through the door apart from anything else. It's very hard to keep them out. I mean, you can't. How can you keep the rats out and let the chickens in?
Very
Paul, is that Paul Jim's Preppers?
It is, yes.
Yeah,
correct.
That's fun, actually. We've been getting the Jim's Preppers website up over the last week. We've got a lady, Manusha, who's doing the programming. So we've got this. You answer a couple of questions like how many people are you, how many children, what kind of grains do you like, so forth, what period of time, and then it just plop, there it is. It gives you exactly how much you'll need, how many kilos, what kind of cost, where you can buy it from, the whole thing. So anybody can be totally prepared for the future.
And Wade Aston's gone, I'll take a teddy for Ava. Geez, you're going to take all our merch, Wade, if we keep giving you all the stuff, but we can sort something out maybe. Des Warrens, who's our franchisor in Melbourne.
Yeah,
G'day, Des. Hi guys, I think that there is a great opportunity to engage our franchise owners in the review and redesign of the customer surveys. The guys at the coalface are very well placed to suggest improvements.
All right, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, so any suggestions for the gym, or how would you say you would go around organising it?
Just send it to me. I think what a lot of people want is a customer survey that makes it almost impossible to get a low survey, which would really defeat the point. But the reality is, actually, the 5-point survey doesn't work that well. You only need 3.
Right.
You need a 1, if it's bad, 3 if it's okay but not brilliant, and 5, which is not most people score. Because most of the 4s, when there's a comment, most of the 4s are actually changed to 5s, because I go through all the surveys that are anything less than 5 every day, usually several times a day. And if I see something, the comment says 4 stars but good, or was friendly, or was on time, or anything at all like that, I'll immediately raise it to a 5. So it's actually relatively few 4-star surveys.
What about the questions on it? The questions that are asked of the customer? I think it's always suggested for changes, and you've held pretty firm on that, I think, haven't you?
Well, we just ask them to rate.
Yeah, or what about whether they're in uniform, all that sort of stuff, callback times?
Oh no, but most customers these days get SMS surveys.
Right.
The great majority of those. So we don't really. There's very, very few of the emailed surveys go out these days, because the only time we send them is when there's no mobile phone. So in Australia, it virtually never happens. I think we do it in New Zealand. I don't think we've got text surveys in New Zealand.
But yeah, definitely does. Tell them to send anything through to jim@jims.net. I know that's obviously your one main real passion is the complaints and survey stuff. So send it through. And we have franchisees who come on every week and leave comments and questions about surveys and all that sort of stuff.
I delete a lot of surveys these days. This thing that I'm doing now, which is a recent change, where you can get rid of a bad survey or a complaint by going back and satisfying the customer. I had just one just before I came on, where a customer was, I think very unreasonable actually, but difficult to do it. And what he just said, he was complaining because what they've done is they brush cut the weeds and they put some poison on.
Right.
Otherwise, it would have cost an absolute fortune. They charged like $150. And the customer was complaining, and so I said to him, okay, look, if you can send me the quote to show that that's what you were going to do, that's okay. But what he actually said was, look, I don't want to bother about it. I'll just refund the money. Now, given that, of course, I will get rid of the survey and the complaint.
Okay, but it's always open, Des, so Jim at jims.net for it, and all the time to improve. And Jim just tells the IT guys, bang, if someone's got a good idea, all the time. Then Jim Full Care Franchise Facebook page. G'day, Jim and Joel. Thanks for tuning in. Now, Matt Barr for a question for Jim. What is one book that you have read that has moved you to tears or close to tears? Question mark.
Well, my own autobiography, like, oh, that idiot.
This one here, right? Yeah.
There are so many great books around. I'm just reading one now. Listen to one now. It's called.
So it's getting out his Audible account.
My Audible account. I love that. I was going through what this afternoon.
Yep.
The Clever Gas Diet. The Clever Gut Diet.
The Clever Guts
Diet,
right.
which is about
probiotics and stuff.
Yeah, that was really fascinating.
Immune system in your gut.
And all the different ways it affects your mood and everything else, and the different kinds of diet and the different strains of bacteria. It's fascinating stuff.
Did that move you to tears or close to tears? You said which book has moved you to tears or close to tears?
I don't think so, but Stephen Covey's book, the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, that was an amazing book. I wouldn't say I was crying over it, but at the same time, it's just one of those really life-changing books. It was fantastic. It gave me such a clear sense of purpose and changed my view on what I'm going to do with in the near future and stuff, and begin with the end in mind. That's a fantastic book. I mean, that's the great thing about I love Audible. I love it so much. I probably have a book or two a week on average.
Yeah, you do get through a lot.
Because there's so many things, exercising, going for a walk, driving the car, there's all kinds of arrangements, and you can just listen and listen, working on the farm, and I just listen to this great stuff.
There we go. Thanks for that question. Paul Evans gone, g'day, and he suggested Jim's bikinis. Don't know if we could do a Jim's bikini range.
I could model them, I suppose.
Well, you won't go into that one with some stuff going on in the media. Dave McDonald, what about Jim's tutoring? Maybe online for now and in personal
absolutely, Jim's tutoring. If we had the right person to drive it, I think it's a great one, actually. My daughter Jasmine, she was tutoring because she had a really good VCE, and she was out tutoring. It was a great thing that she was doing and helping.
We've had that suggestion students. A bit, that one.
Yeah, and she was actually working for a guy young bloke who just set up this tutoring company. I think tutoring is a great area to be in. It's
going to be a big business moving forward, isn't it? The old online sort of stuff.
I've got my 10-year-old son Aaron is being tutored, or he actually was before the crisis, in programming. He's learned to write games, which is of course what interests him. But I think tutoring is fantastic.
And there we go. Eric Jurgens has gone, hasn't Jim met all the franchisees from NZ when they did training here in Melbourne? Question mark.
Yeah. Well, the ones who come over here, they don't always come here. Sometimes they train in Auckland.
In NZ, yeah.
Yeah. But I try and meet everybody who comes to training as much as possible. I just have some individual conversation if I possibly can.
There we go. Dave McDonald. Jim, what phones do you use? iPhone, Android and other, and the model?
I use iPhone 6.
iPhone 6?
Not the most recent version, but I like it because it's got a big screen. And I don't need anything up to date. I don't need a great camera. I must say my iPad's just messed up, so I bought a Samsung for a change, which seems to work all right.
There we go. So iPhone 6, David, is the answer there.
But iPhones are very difficult to change. Once you're in Apple, you're sort of locked in. You're trapped because there's so much that's in there, like your address book and everything else. So trying to change that would be a nightmare. So I'm stuck with Apple on this one, but Samsung's fine. I don't mind Android.
You're not like a brand. Yeah, you're not like a brand either way. Whatever's functional for you.
Yeah.
There we go. Wade Aston's gone over said to say thank you for the hat as well, by the way, Jim.
You're welcome.
Which is good. Okay, Cody Jerry, what's the best way to start a business?
What's the best way to start a business? Buy Jim's franchise.
Well, yeah, we don't push stuff much, don't we, at all, no.
Well, I mean, I'm not... I'm actually quite serious because the statistics are there, and you can look it up. The chance, if you start a service business like a cleaning or a gardening business, your chance of being there still in 12 months' time is between 5 and 10%. If you buy a Jim's business, your chance of being there in 12 months as a Jim's franchisee is around about 89 to 90%. And the 10% that so-called fail would include some people who were quite successful but then just moved on, got a job offer or went independent or something like that. So seriously, I really say so, and I know I'm blowing my own trumpet, but the fact is, statistics do show that we have a vastly greater chance of helping you to get started a business. I actually had a guy this afternoon who wrote to me, who bought a dog wash franchise with the clear intention of going independent after a short period of time, which we allow. We don't make it difficult. There's just the $4,000 payment. But he came in, he got the training, he got the showing how to do it, he got the client base, and he said, that's what I really want. He said, one day I might come back and be a franchisor, but that's what I wanted. I just wanted to get started in a business in a way that I wasn't going to fail. And of course, he is successful.
There you go, Cody. So the answer is buy Jim's franchise 131546 or Jim's.net. Denise Taylor, hi Jim and Joel, all going well here on the Sunshine Coast. Business is booming from the cleaning page, which is awesome. So yes. Denise is a newer franchisee, I believe she is, which is great to hear. I think he started during the moment of the crisis and the peak sort of thing there, doing well.
But some cleaning people are doing extraordinarily well. Like people are doing better than they ever have. Some people have been around for a while, said this is the best season ever because the clean disinfect thing is so good. They charge like $8.99 to do a job that takes 20 minutes. And it's in high demand. It's a very good money.
Absolutely, it's a disinfect service. And Eric Jurgen's gone and joined Jim's as well. He's ahead of you there with that comment as well.
That's right.
Veronica Wilding, thanks. I'm very interested in a dog wash franchise. So Veronica was the one about the dog wash saying, is it being affected much by COVID? So
yeah, good on you, Veronica.
The general answer is no. And if you do, come along.
But I tell you what to do too. If you're interested in a franchise, just whatever it is, Jim's, anybody else, check out the competition, look at the whole field, and ring as many franchisees as possible. That is my absolute, and I'm saying that with all due knowledge. I believe that you'll try us out, try anybody else out, you'll come to Jim's if you do a fair comparison. But the fact of the matter is you should always do your homework. And I'm amazed people will buy a business without spending a couple of hours on the most basic homework of ringing up and talking to other franchisees.
Yeah, it's quite it's definitely a lot of the due diligence process is not done by many people, but
people trust our brand and mostly with some justice, but it's not 100%. You know, most of our franchisors are fantastic. There's some that are not as good, and it's simple as that. And if you did your test, you might say, well, this isn't the one for me.
Eric Jurgens, I think that the customers will hopefully see it at training or online for training as well, Veronica. Yes. I think that the customer survey should insist on a comment on all star ratings less than 5 stars. Is there a suggestion regarding the surveys?
Well, you can't really force them though, can you?
Well, unless you make it not count.
Unless we make it not count.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Would you want to do that? You lose a lot of data that way.
I would too, yeah. And you'd also bias them too because you tend to collect more 5-star surveys and not the lesser ones. What we do is very often we'll tend to follow them up. Either the franchisee or the franchisor will follow up with the customer. And sometimes it's a mistake. Surprisingly often, 3-star surveys are actually, they meant to put 5, but somehow they put 3 as the maximum. I see that all the time. So what happens is we actually send a message back, an email to the client saying, we're sorry your service wasn't so good. And quite commonly they'll write back and say, oh no, I meant it was fantastic. And then I change it to 5 stars. Or sometimes they'll say why they weren't happy. And they might say they want something done, so then I'll get in touch with the franchisee and get them to contact them and go back and fix it, whatever it is. So,
thanks for the comment, Eric.
Most surveys do have comments with them.
Thanks for that comment, Eric. Any suggestions regarding the survey? Flick them through to Jim at jims.net. Always looking to improve.
One of the things we're doing too, we're changing it. It hasn't gone through yet, but when they get a poor survey, rather than just asking for comments, we'll say, look, could you tell us what you were unhappy with? So we actually prompt them.
Right.
You know, was it poor service, or was it they were late, poor job, or was it price related? A lot of poor surveys, and that's one of the issues. That's one reason why when I get a 1-star survey without a comment, we don't consider it as a complaint because it could be price. And people often give a 1-star survey because they're annoyed about the price. But that is not a complaint, and as soon as we find that out, then we immediately change it to a price survey.
There we go. Thanks for that suggestion, Eric. And comment, Dave McDonald, Jim, what did you do on the Revenge of the 5th day? The day after Star Wars Day, May of the 4th. So yesterday was May the 4th be with you. It was a Star Wars type day. So he's asking, what did you do on Revenge of the 5th day? Very clever, David.
I love Star Wars. Is good. I love it. I love the prequels better though. It's a strange thing. Most people think that classic. Yeah, don't hold your breath at me, Ben over there. I love the Anakin Skywalker moving to the dark side. And I love Palpatine. You know, in the beginning, in the first series, you know, he's this benevolent figure. You can see this picture of him with his hair blowing in the wind, and it's all sunshine and smiles, and he's so benevolent. And you know, this guy's scheming to become Galactic Emperor. I just love that.
You would have definitely been the Sith Lord, Jim. I can tell you that right now. I don't think you would have been a Jedi. No way. You would have been behind the scenes.
I think Jedi's a pathetic idea. Who would not want to have emotions, and who would not want to have family? I totally understand Anakin. You know, I really do.
Maybe.
I know I make a lousy Jedi. I'd be driven by emotions. I reckon the dark side would be too much to resist. If that's the only option, you've got to be a Jedi and be a, you know, pure and unemotional and stuff, or you could be a Sith Lord. There's no competition.
There we go, and we do have a big picture in our lecture theatre.
I try not to blow up any planets or anything around your neighbourhood, but still, you know.
That's nice to know for people watching. We do have a nice big Corfu sign of Jim in our lecture theatre with your heads imposed in a Darth Vader thing there, so we do have some Star Wars themed stuff around the head office. Cody Jarrow, hey Jim, when will you come to Newcastle for your next meet and greet? Also, I was going to say, when your next one? Also, what did you do at the start of your business? Was it just lawns?
Invite me on Zoom. I'd love to come to your next meeting, and I'll come.
No, this is a member of the public. Member of the public. Do you do any gym tours?
No.
No.
Sometimes they invite me to give talks and stuff. I haven't had any for a while. I think
you can pay Jim's fee for talking, Cody. Don't know how rich you are, but if you can pay for Jim's fee for talking.
Yeah, I used to charge about $4,000, and then I kept on increasing it because I didn't like to travel so much. They stop asking me.
What's the going rate now? It's a lot, isn't it?
It's a bit. I don't know. Usually when I go to talk, I charge you about $6,000 or $8,000, something like that.
I'll say 10 grand. I'll manage it.
But it's not the talk. If you want to come to Foothills, I give talks there for free. Any group that comes to our conference centre, I'm happy to go out and give a talk.
Do you ever come to Melbourne as well? I'll say this to anyone who always says, I want to meet Jim, come to Melbourne.
Just come to the office and stuff. I'm usually around. If I'm not here, I'm next door. I had a
We've had members of the public come, believe it or not, and ask Jim. They say, can I come meet Jim? We just say yes, and they've come up before, rival business people. Just get a book signed, have a photo. We've done it before.
Yeah, I don't mind helping my competition. There's a guy at my church, Paul, who's started a gardening business with my advice and help. Actually, just every now and then he wanted to know. He rang me last week to say, how do I deal with GST and do I raise prices on clients and stuff? So I just give him a few pointers.
Too nice, Jim. I always said call 131546, put an inquiry in.
No, he's a church brother.
Let's keep going. Alexandro de Moya. Hi, Jim. I'm very handyman and my wife don't speak English. What franchise would be good as we are Brazilians? We've had a few Brazilians comment on before.
Well, there's a lot of divisions.
Saying he's very handy. Very handy.
Very handy.
Very handy.
Did you say you don't speak English?
No, he says his wife doesn't speak English.
Well, that's as long as you speak English reasonably well, that's okay. There's a lot of divisions. I mean, handyman's one. Fencing is a great one. I'd really look at fencing because it's just... There's a phenomenal amount of work, and it's also a great one to be able to put employees on because the jobs are quite large.
Plus, it's got a good training program.
Very good training program. You've got yourself a trade skill which is yours for life. I'd say if you're handy, fencing is something you definitely want to look at.
And we've had a few Brazilian people come on and debate which one they've asked you, which is great. I was supposed to go to Brazil this year. I'm spewing I couldn't go due to bloody coronavirus. Going to America.
I'm a big fan of our immigration program. We would be really stuffed if we didn't have people coming into the country all the time.
Don't know why you want to leave Brazil though. Brazil is a good country.
Actually, from what I've read about Australia's great country to be in.
Copacabana Beach and
especially. Oh, come on, beaches in here are just as good as anywhere else. What's wrong with you?
The scenery around Copacabana Beach.
I think the beaches in Australia are equal or better than anything in the world.
Oh, it's the scenery that goes with it. That's on Copacabana Beach.
What's wrong with Australia? What are you, some sort of a bigot that you don't like your own country?
A bigot? I'm not bigot against Australia.
Come on!
I'm just saying it's a good country.
It's a cultural cringe.
A lot of great.
They play the right football. What about better country in the world can there be than this one? Come on.
They play the right football.
We've got this magnificent scenery.
They play the round ball.
They've got plenty of sunshine, beautiful variety of things, and there's gorgeous places in Australia, and we're about as best as anybody in the world at seeing off the virus.
Their girls are better looking.
Plus,
I'll say that their girls are.
Girls are absolutely gorgeous. I think Australia is absolutely the tops. You know, one of my favourite songs, and this will bring tears to my eyes sometimes. I love the Secret song, "I'm Australian." I love that one. Have you heard that?
I've heard the song. Yes, it's a good song.
I love that. I feel so proud of it. Talking about just people coming all over the world. Starts off with Aboriginals and talks about bushies and stuff, and then just about that sense of unity, that sense of diversity that we bring people from all over the world into a community.
There's a lot more South Americans coming to Australia. There's a lot of Colombians, a lot of Brazilians that are making their way to Melbourne to study.
I don't blame anybody who wants to come to Australia.
I'm happy to go back the other way.
I reckon it just... I reckon it shows good taste if you want to come to this country.
Well, there is a Jim's Brazilians wicked camper van running around, which people have seen him.
That is true.
Seen around.
That is true.
But Alexandro, best thing to do is speak to the regional franchisor, 131546, or even email Jim to see, and he can tell you what your skills are as well. Richard Lang, hey Jim, big fan, mate. Would you be able to sign my mower?
Sign your mower?
If you bring your mower in, absolutely.
You bring your mower with some sort of... I'll sign it with a... I don't know how long it's going to last.
Jim will sign your mower and we'll take a picture, absolutely, Richard. If you come to the head office, shoot us a message, we will do that as well. Then Richard Lang on, is he doing tutoring for lawns? I don't mind that one at all.
Tutoring?
Jim's lawn tutoring. Would you tutor someone on how to do lawns?
Actually,
$500, wasn't it?
There is a video that I did on the website, which is how to cut lawn grass and pick it up.
Yes, there is on our YouTube channel.
Because people always try and they slash the grass and just knock it down, and it looks terrible and it doesn't pick up and stuff. And clients complain. I used to have this method of going in, back, going to the right, back. I could cut a really long grass, like even up to 1 metre high, and cut it clean and pick it up. And clients absolutely loved it, and it's not that difficult to do. So that's a really good trick.
That's on the YouTube channel there, Rich, if you want to do it. But if you bring your mower to head office, I'll make sure Jim signs it. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shoot us a message.
I think it'd be a good video clip.
Absolutely, I'll definitely do it. David's going, I'll ask a question. When are you going to do figurines of Jim? Because I want to put him in an RC car. I want to put you in an RC car. If we do a figurine of Jim.
You mean a figurine of Jim or of Jimbo?
Maybe of Jimbo, maybe of Jim. I don't know. Jimbo, I'd say, but I don't know. If we looked into it. It's just the price.
The trouble is, I don't look like Jim.
It's true.
I don't look.
Well, do you want a figurine of Jim or the Jimbo, David?
I don't want this at all.
Well, do you want a figure of Jim or do you want the Jimbo? Which one would it be?
I don't think anybody would want a picture of me.
And Paul's
the only person in the world that thinks I'm good looking is my wife, that poor deluded woman, and she's also got fairly poor eyesight, so you can't blame her for that.
Paul Evans, Apple is great. Then David McDonald, I've got a sixes. I've got sixes too. 5-year-old and works fine. Sorry, a 6S too. 5 years old and works fine. Might upgrade soon. Will Jim's jobs work with Apple Pay or something like Square Pay? Which is a question we've had before. Will Jim's jobs work with Apple Pay or Square Pay?
I don't know.
So that would have to link into those systems, David, via an API or something like that, I guess.
If you want to know, presume just email me and I'll put or ask
infotech@jims.net.
Infotech@jims.net. Just ask them what's going to work. But the aim is, look, we're getting to the stage now of putting Jim's jobs out, and it's actually going quite well. But there'll be a really strong, continuous improvement process going on. We are not really slackening off on the investment at all. There's going to be more and more good stuff coming in.
Well, taking card payments has been requested via the device. So
it's going to be a good one, yeah. You will see by the end of the year, this will be... I reckon it's as good as anything on the market now. By the end of the year, it's going to be something absolutely magical.
Very true. Then Dana Majan's gone, it'd be a great way if you could visit us in Canberra, Jim. We'd look forward to it here.
Always come in by Zoom.
We always get everyone here. We always get the request, come fly, come here. But I know the best way, Dina, at the regional franchisor at your meeting, Jim will Zoom in if you want to organise it. Absolutely happy to do it.
I really don't find going myself. I got much opportunity to talk to people in a way.
Maybe the march from Canberra though. She's in Canberra. You maybe go lobby the government or something in there. Storm the Senate or House of Reps. The Mitchell Horn's gone, is this the Jim? Yes, this is the Jim. We're tracking behind there.
I know I don't look like myself, but that is me.
then Paul Evans says tutoring is a great idea. So we're just catching up on comments, guys. We're a bit behind because we've got sidetrack as well. Steve Beck, g'day, guys. Steve from Warriewood watching, so thanks. Jason saying it's a good show tonight. That's great to hear, Jason. Dave McDonald regarding some comment stuff. Yes, needs to be a comment. Needs a comment to be rated. 5 stars without a comment is great. But 4 stars with no comment should be 5 stars, or anything less should be deleted or make comments mandatory.
Well, yeah. As I said, you can follow up the comments yourself, which is what I recommend. Go back to the clients, a little polite note saying, look, I noticed you weren't so happy. What can I do to make it right? Most people will respond.
True.
And if not that, try that, get your franchisor to go back to it. Just be aware that if they do put a comment in, it can turn from a 1 star to a 1 star plus complaint. Because I won't put a complaint on unless I know why the client's unhappy.
There we go. And then Steve Beck's got any chance of more day on the road videos with franchisees from the Mowing page? Absolutely. We'd love to do it. Just shoot an email to socialmedia@jims.net. I'd love to go out there again and the boys. We've done pool care, mowing, We want to do some other divisions. It's just a matter we don't want to impose ourselves too much on you, so you lose money on the day. So if you can put up with us following you around, absolutely. So
there's some great videos, those ones. They really are.
Well, they show a no BS approach to what it actually is like, and they go for an hour because it's an 8-hour day. We're not going to cut anything out that's too bad, and it's a pretty good view of what happens. So if you are interested, social media at gyms.net, absolutely, we want to do it more. Dina Majan, we work in cleaning, Canberra. We've had a few cancellations, but nothing to write home about.
Good.
I know I think when the COVID crisis started, Dina was a bit worried as well but I'm glad to hear it's nothing to worry about at the moment. So it's good to hear.
Apart from those couple of very badly affected divisions like test and tape, building inspections, we've had a great crisis. We really have.
And David's saying that the Star Wars are making a new movie, which is great. It's news to me, news to you.
Is it?
Star Wars is making a new movie.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, that's one I'm going to see.
Then Wade's gone. Is Jimbo a Star Wars or Star Trek fan?
Star Wars.
Star Wars over everything as well.
I've seen every Star Trek there is. Though I tried the new Picard thing, and I wasn't that keen on it really. It just was a bit.
The Amazon series, right? This is the new series. This is a TV series, yeah. And Paul Evans, people want to be treated like royalty, sometimes unrealistic. You would know it from dealing with the complaints sometimes.
Yeah. I do not believe the customer is always right. I tell you what, from my position, there's customers that are awful. There was one that I read listed today, actually, where the customer was just so unreasonable and so unpleasant, and they were abusive to staff and everything.
Well, they're abusive, really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
They'll bring up and have a go at the girls in the call centre, which is the most unfair thing imaginable. I read noted them. I put a red note: do not use. So that we don't never give service to this person ever again.
Well, I don't believe in many things, but karma's one of them. So be a good person and treat others how you want to be treated, and that's how you should operate. If not, karma will get you, and it always does. Then Dave McDonald's gone. Has Jim seen the new ones? Did you see all the new Star Wars that came out? The newer ones?
Yeah.
Yeah. You've seen everyone, haven't you?
As far as I know, they are. I haven't seen. It depends what you call. Not necessarily the spin-offs. There was one that was
the most recent more ones. When the episode 9 or 8, I think it was. No. 9.
I think I've seen them all in the main series.
Yeah. You haven't seen Han Solo spin-off?
No, I didn't see. I started watching Solo. I didn't like it. It's too boring. Too much action.
Take that, Harrison Ford.
I am not a fan of action. I find action boring. I find the psychology interesting. I find turning to the dark side, that kind of idea, the political machinations. I think the way that Palpatine does that in the prequels is just so clever.
You like the puppet master in the background, don't you, pulling the strings?
Yeah, and how he becomes the Galactic Emperor, and then he gets the Trade Federation to do the things, and then he goes and massacres them all the end. I mean, that's really just good stuff.
You see Jim's getting excited about it. He's true Sith Lord.
The only thing that got me upset was when they killed the children in the Jedi, the young ones. I find anything to do with killing children to be not good.
No, definitely not good. Wade Aston, do gyms do crime scene cleaning? Now this is a great point, Wade. That's your best comment I reckon you've ever had. We absolutely have franchisees who do a certification in crime scene cleaning. Yeah. They trauma cleans and all that sort of stuff, which is not a good job, but it's I'm sure it pays very, very well. Someone's got to do it though. So we have franchisee recently got qualified in that and posted his certificate. Louis, I think he lives in Melbourne. Yeah. So crime scene. So yes, I think some franchisees do that, and it's a massive lucrative business. Ed Sutherland's gone. Jim's auto electric. I don't know. Do any of our franchisees do auto electric?
No, I don't think so.
Then how much does Jim charge to be a keynote speaker? 6 to 8K was the thing.
Depending on where.
When you book via me, it's 10K.
If it was in Melbourne, I do it a lot cheaper, and if it was in Foothills, I do it for nothing. It's not the speaking. I like doing the speaking. It's the travelling that I don't like.
The travelling, the travelling's a big thing.
Excuse me, I haven't got a cold, I've got asthma. And that's triggered by smoke.
Yeah?
Yeah, because we have a lot of barbecues.
You have a barbecue tonight, did you? Then Luke O'Neill's gone, Joel, did you see the May the 4th picture I put on my Instagram page on Monday? I feel like he might enjoy it. I haven't seen it, Luke. Just send it to social media at gyms.net and I'll show it to Jim and I'll share it myself if that's the case. But I'll have a look and show it to him. Denise Taylor, my son Charlie loves Star Wars 2 and also read your book, Jim. That's cool. And I think Charlie was 11 or 12 or something you said last time, good Denise.
Stuff. Yeah.
Which is great. Reading a book at that age is awesome because I definitely... do you find it surprising that it's 12 young... I don't know. I'm not saying it's surprising, but...
I think it's good.
Yeah? Must make you feel good.
Well, my 10-year-old reads New Scientist, which is pretty unusual. He's a very strange kid.
They're reading a lot higher level than me. I can tell you that right now as well. Let's keep going on here.
And he asked me questions about the things and stuff. He had this thing today, actually. He was saying, could you squash a virus? Like the way you squash a mosquito.
Right.
And I said, would it be too small? But he said, what if the surfaces were completely and utterly level, and both surfaces, and could you physically squash a virus? which are very, very tiny. And I said, well, it doesn't seem likely to me you could make a service that was that level. But if you could, then I suppose you could do it. That's the way he thinks.
It's a very unique thinking.
And he argues with me. He doesn't like my answer. He's 10-year-old.
Sound familiar? Sound familiar?
He does. He's his father's son.
There we go. Eric Jurgens, you need to write that one down. Joel Bigot. He's saying I've got to know. I've got pleb big now. Bigot I've been called. Got a few on here.
Well, I shouldn't call you a bigot because a bigot is someone who doesn't like somebody else's culture.
No.
What do you call it? I don't know what you call somebody.
Turncoat? I don't know. Traitor?
Yeah, traitor.
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 Paul Evans.
Anybody who thinks that another country is better than Australia in any way is a traitor to this land.
Not at all. Paul Evans, Jim's Police Division. We've never had Jim Security. We've had Jim Security. We do have Jim Security as a division. But in regards to like
Jim Security is alarms.
Yes.
But if you want someone to go in and rough up your neighbours, we don't have that one yet.
No, we don't. We don't have Jim's debt collection or forceful debt collection, do we?
Well, I had a friend at my church who had a neighbour from hell who was actually a criminal and really caused him so much angst.
Really?
So I said, look, if you want me to follow up some connections, I could probably find someone to go and take him for a ride somewhere and give him a warning about what's going to happen if he persists. I do know people.
We'll keep moving on with that one there. And Wackus.
He said no, he didn't accept it. But anyway, unfortunately, the guy sold up and moved anyway, so he didn't need to.
Well, lucky for that. Wackus Jelani, what do you think about the Jim's Energy future? Maybe is that in the Jim's Energy division, Wackus?
Yeah, well, Jim's Energy is a good division. I mean, it's solar panels and stuff, and as the panels get cheaper, it should be something that should take up all over. Jim's
Energy, we do have a few franchisees in there, don't we? So that's something you're really passionate about. Joe Wall's gone, Jim's Boilermakers Fabrication. It would be a great idea. Yeah, if you had that business, come to us, I guess. I don't know. Jim's Boilermakers.
Yeah, we tend to do best at businesses that relate to domestic consumers.
Yeah.
That's our best divisions. They're all very domestic orientated. The only exception would be Test and Tag, which is extremely good division. Obviously works with businesses, but look, I like anything. It really depends on having the right person come who wants to start it up, which is how most divisions start. We don't plan them, with very few exceptions.
David McDonald's gone, Joel, come to Horsham. I'll do a day on the road. Absolutely, I wouldn't mind doing that, David. Will you let us go to Horsham for a day on the road with Jim's Antennas for that division?
Yeah, it's a long way to Horsham. It's about 3 or 4 hours away.
It is, but I don't mind. It's the local stuff. It's the regional area.
Sure. Why not?
There we go. We've been approved, David. We'll have to hook that up when we're allowed to. I'm actually definitely do that. Dina Majan's gone, Jim, I'll go for you to ruffle some politicians' feathers up in Canberra.
All right. Well, if you've got any high-level connections, be sure.
Then Eric's gone, come do a day in the life with me. I start at 4:30 a.m. on the side of the road, rain, hail or shine. Jim said no under his breath then, Eric. Not at this stage at 4:30 a.m. We can do some more content.
They wanted me to go to the market at what, 5 in the morning.
Yeah, so Home Fresh. We're going to do this anyway, but it'll be us. But I think the markets, they open between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. Or 2 a.m. and 8 a.m. and they want us there.
I think going to, where is it, Preston or something like that?
Is Epping, yeah.
Epping, yeah.
The fruit markets, the Home Fresh market.
At 4 in the morning, didn't grab me a lot. I have a very nice wife. I'd rather stay in bed with her, thank you very much, than go out and sit in some freezing cold market at 4 in the morning.
Well, you originally said yes, happy to do any video, and then you said the time, and then you got into the time.
Yeah.
I think it's me, Ben and Jake are going to have to do that, so there's no problem with that. I'm actually looking forward to it. I think it's very rarely that you get insight into that fruit market, I think, so quite a privilege to go there, just have to be up here as well.
It's a wonderful division, actually. It's very exciting. It's one of those ones...
No, they're good blokes,
I just love the way they're doing it. It's very innovative and it's a great model. I just wish we could spread it across the rest of the country.
Yeah, we'll get asked all the time.
I put them in touch with a friend of mine who's actually an investor. I was at school with him. So I'm hoping that he will actually help to get that off the ground. But the thing is, you need a warehouse space. You need some sort of packing space. So that's the difficulty, but it's a brilliant division.
Now, Luke O'Neill's going to come up to the Sunshine Coast. I'd be happy for you to video my day of work. We do get requests to go everywhere. It's not feasible all the time, but what I would say to you franchisees, which I haven't told you, we've got a new thing which is coming out in the next couple of weeks. We're making an upload section on Jim's Online or the franchisor website. So any video you take on your phone or whatever, just drag it from your computer into this file. It notifies us. Then we can then fix it up and whatever and post it on social media. Yeah, so for the people who are interstate, we always get asked that if you want us to edit your videos and stuff, you can upload that there, which will be available, and we'll do that for you. So I think that'd be really cool. And we'll keep going with a couple more here, guys, as well. We've gone long enough as well. Bishal Broker, when's the next mowing training? When's the next mowing training?
Well, that'll be Monday week, wouldn't it?
It's on the 18th of May is the next training. That's the next live training.
Yes.
But we have the online training as well, which is the other thing.
Yes.
So it depends what you want to do.
But it will be the same thing. They're just going to show the sessions. But in this particular month, they're going to be shown at a particular time.
Yes, correct.
Some divisions prefer everybody to sit in the course at the same time. There's also, we should have a session where I can spend a couple of hours just talking with the guys and answering questions and stuff. I'd like to do that if we can.
Yeah, we'll try and work that out.
We didn't do that last time, but I would like to next time.
No, we didn't.
I really do like to meet every franchisee if I possibly can.
We'll try and work something out, but if we can have people here next training, we will. With the social distancing guidelines adhered to and all that sort of stuff.
I'd really like to meet franchisees. I think one of the main reasons is that once they've met me and I've said to them about 5 times over, please contact me, they're more likely to do so. And then sometimes it's very, very useful that they do.
And then Dave McDonald's gone, Jim, have you been tested for COVID?
No, I've got asthma. No way I've got that.
Yeah, we'll have to make that quite clear when this all happens.
I know when I cough a bit, it might seem alarming, but I'm a bit allergic to wood smoke. And I got it when I bought my farm, and it was an open fireplace, and it just took me a while to figure out why. So I still love barbecues. I love wood-fired barbecues, and they just get a bit.
Dave McDonald's saying his hobby here. He does model engineering as a hobby, making live steam engines. It's a great hobby, and he says he starts at 8 o'clock. Have to leave pretty early to get to Horsham, but I reckon we can do it. I wouldn't mind going to a regional area. I think it'd be great to do a lot of content.
We haven't done it, have we?
Sorry?
We've never been to a regional area, so...
No. Look, I think we've had a few suggestions to do this on the road, and I've had a Ballarat franchisees ask for us to do it, so I reckon Ballarat would probably be the goer if we're going to do it.
Well, you could do a couple in the same area. I mean, Ballarat and Horsham's not that far apart, really.
I think Horsham's a little bit further. I think it's a little bit... Ballarat's the one I reckon is the feasible one to do, because it's just the right amount of length of time to get there and get back, and it's probably a good centralised location for franchisees to come. Then David's gone 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. start the big market.
We had talked about having this gyms at a regional centre at some time.
Yeah, we have.
I mean, that'd be worthwhile. If you go to somewhere like Ballarat or Bendigo or somewhere and do in a public place.
Yeah,
like for a local chamber of commerce and stuff, and have a live audience is always fun.
If we do it, we'll have to give a bit of time. But we want to make sure people are there. We don't want to go all the way and set it up and only have 20 people to rock up. So if we do,
so not during the crisis, but when it's all finished.
When it's all finished. But if you're a franchisee owner, make sure you support it too, because that means we can do it again. If there's enough interest there, if 100 people rock up and you're getting mobbed or whatever.
Yeah, somewhere like Ballarat or Geelong, somewhere like those. I think that'd be good.
And then Paul Evans has gone, Jim's done very well because his great personality and attitude is great.
Thank you.
And then someone said, as opposed to me, after that. That's not a nice way. Very good one there. All right, guys, what I'll do is we're going to leave it there tonight because we've gone well over. The reason why we went well over is because we had 240 comments left in the Jim's Group page alone, which is a record for tonight, which I thank you very much to everyone for watching as well.
Okay.
So let's leave it there, guys. If I missed your question, I'm going to bank a few of the better ones up for next week and ask them. But we'll leave it there, guys, and thanks for doing this, Jim, going over time as well.
See you next week.
Thanks, guys. Stay safe.
Bye.